Yes, go ahead and turn on your screens.
Okay, for some reason, it doesn't have optimized for video available for me to click.
It doesn't?
It
Well,
does not.
I already did that, so maybe that'll work for you as well.
Okay, so I just have share sound. I clicked that, so.
Okay.
All right, I guess we'll troubleshoot if we get there. Okay, I'm glad everybody's here today. And, you know, I've been talking privately with one-on-one with my friends here. Part of you are in the group here. And we started to realize that, you know, I've kind of done a little research here and I've got some things to share. So maybe we should just put it together and put it out here so you guys can see some of the things I've been talking about. And so I'm going to call this housing models that are worth knowing about. This is a sampling that I took from the website Autism Housing Network. If you guys know what that is, if you go to it, you'll get a nice display of all the places in the United States that have places that can support your young person. The thing is, though, there are so many things are listed in here that some of them are just like thought processes. Some of them are existing places, and there's a huge range of what these are. And so I've just selected 4 today to talk about, but they came from that website. So that's autismhousingnetwork.org. Okay, so the first one I'm going to talk about, I'm going to move this to that side. I need to take a minute and move you guys there. Okay, the first one I'm going to talk about is called Good Life Innovations. They're in partnership with the University of Kansas. They serve all of Kansas, but they have 2 primary locations. Lenexa, Kansas, which is right next to Overland Park. That's a little bit more well-known. And then Lawrence, Kansas, where University of Kansas is. They have several models. I don't know that much about all the models, except for that it ranges with the needs. There's like, they have cul-de-sacs of houses where families live with people with higher needs. I'm going to just tell you about the one that I found most interesting. It's using technology. So I'm going to just go ahead and start this video here for you to watch. Tell me if the audio works for you. Yes? Yes.
Hi, welcome to Good Life. I'm Mindy Fry and I'm the site director here at Neighborhood Network. Why don't you come on in for a tour? Technology is a key function for Neighborhood Network to succeed. We really want to help be independent and inspire privacy, but we also want to encourage safety. Some of the key features here at Neighborhood Network is a camera that has a 360 zoom. So we are able to watch our residents, and if there was a crisis, we would be able to deploy a staff member if there was an urgency. But also on the flip side, if somebody just needed help to open some biscuits, we are able to say, hey, you need to bang the biscuits on the counter and then you can cook them. So it's beautiful because they're able to have that independence if they need it, but they're also able to have us be there right on site if they need us to be there.
Hi, Link, this is Jamie.
Hey Jamie, can you send someone over to change the light bulb?
Sure, I can. I'll send someone right over, Amanda. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, Wade.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, do you think that you could head over to Amanda's to help her change a light bulb?
Yeah, on my way.
Great, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Come in, Wayne.
Amanda, here to fix your light bulb.
Let's fix this one.
Is this one right here?
Sometimes cooking is not our residents' strongest strengths. So how can we help them be independent with that skill? Good Life has helped these residents with that by having a stove monitor. So we have a sensor that tells when the stove is turned on, when the stove is too hot, and if the stove has been on for too long. We then have a button at our office that can turn the stove off. So let's say a resident left and forgot to turn their stove off. We are able to help with that feature with the sensor. Another key element is we have sensors in the bathroom. Let me make clear, they are not cameras, it is a sensor. It tells you when the resident goes into the bathroom and when the resident is in there too long. So it will cue us to, hey, let's go check on them, and hopefully we're trying to prevent a fall or whatnot, or just to check in and make sure they're okay. This technology is very useful for staff to clock in and out of our homes. Every apartment here at Neighborhood Network has this technology set up. Not only is it helpful for staff, but if a guardian had a question of who was at the apartment at what time, we are able to track that information with this technology. And so here is an example of clocking out, and it is that simple. Lastly, one of the amazing features we have is a door alarm. So we're able to know when our residents go or when they come back from wherever it was that they were. So we have a lot of safety features, and technology is what helps us function here for our guys to be as independent as possible.
iLink Assist really is layered on top of everything, and it's the glue that connects all the smart technology to the local hubs and to the professional monitoring center. And it's got designs within it to filter out unnecessary intrusions. And the idea behind it is that, you know, we don't need to be virtually in somebody's home all the time. We need to be there when they need us there. Now, that could be at night, let's say, where somebody gets out of their bed and they go into the bathroom and they don't return to their bed in a certain period of time. Well, you know, maybe we should check on them. Maybe that's an important thing to do. Or that they're in the kitchen and cooking, and all of a sudden they leave and walk out the door, but they forget to turn the stove off. I think Mindy mentioned, you know, that in her tour. You know, software is designed to filter out needs where we don't need to support people and notice times in which we do.
This is Jordan. Jordan is a professional neighbor here at Douglas County Neighborhood Network. He's a live-in and lives on site. Jordan has been with Good Life for about 8 years. Jordan, what are some things that you appreciate about working here at Neighborhood Network?
It's really just working with the individuals, working with them with their programs, their VSPs, and helping them grow. And getting to be a part of that is why I'm still here, and I really enjoy it.
My name's Joe Hess. I'm one of the residents over here at Neighborhood Network. Something I just want to talk about today is about the Neighborhood Network and how independent I am by just living here. This is one of the greatest programs that I've ever lived in. The great thing about this program is the staff. You know, they're all here for us. They're gonna teach us to get where we want to be in life. My goal is to make money, you know, budgeting, you know, having a car, just being that independent. And you know, when I have questions, this is the people that I can go to. But the most thing that I just love is everyone's just caring. You know, they're here for us whenever we need it. We're problem solving when we have a bad day. You know, I'm glad and positive. I'm blessed that, you know, I wake up every morning just knowing that I'm here around here. I can wake up to my roommate, have fun. I can go to the indoor office, say hi to everybody, you know, goof around, be like, hey, what's up, Mindy? Hey, Jamie. Just knowing that this is like my #1 family. And that's the great thing about this program. They provide that service to help you be where you need to be, problem solve, basically teach you to figure things out on your own. There's a lot of things that I didn't know, and that now I'm just using it back to what they've taught me. So like budgeting, I know how to budget, paying gas, paying bills. Like I know how to start doing that just by them teaching me that. Another thing is too, guys, that I love about this program, iLink, the technology where, you know, when I'm heading to work, you know, when I'm going to go out with something to eat, it's just a quick little button, and there's always going to be somebody on the other side answering back to me. And, you know, I know who the voice is, you can tell who the voice is, it's one of the staff. So basically, when you guys need something, you're not feeling good, I always push that button, you know, to let them know, hey guys, I need something, hey, I need some help cleaning, and that voice would just come back to me right then and there, and, you know, obviously give me the answers that I need.
iLink, this is Jordan.
Hey Jordan, I'm about to head to work.
Okay, thanks Joe. What time do you work till?
About 11 a.m. to 10 at night.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll see you at 10. I hope you have a good day.
You too, buddy.
Alright, thank you.
Yep, bye.
Bye.
I hope you guys have a good day. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so do we want to stop and talk a little bit about this between them, or should we just go to the end and then do question and answer? I guess it depends on if you want them on the recording, Susan.
I think everything we talk about from here on out is perfect for recording. And it's
Okay.
whatever you would like to do, Mary. It's, yeah.
Does anyone have any questions that come to mind before we go to the next?
I would like to know, it said it was affordable. Do you know how much that it costs to have the, for people live there?
I did get the price sheet mailed to me, and it had all the levels. You know, we've heard people talk about level 1 and level 5. I've never heard of any other numbers in the middle, but apparently there's there's 2, 3, 4 also levels of care. So I looked at only 5 because that's what Eddie is. So 5 was the cheapest I've seen as a supportive living place. It was $2,000 a month. Level 1 was substantially more expensive than that.
Because there's more care involved.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Do you remember what it was?
don't remember the actual numbers of any of the other ones, but I do know that it was cheaper than any other place I've seen. So I'm thinking it would be cheaper on every level. Also, Kansas is doing better than Texas as far as Medicaid waivers. It's a 7-year waiting list. I'm thinking the higher need, you'd probably go in faster. They pay for this. This is part of what they pay for. So does that help, Nancy?
Yes, so you would want to move there and live and apply for the Medicaid then?
Yeah, so this would be a difficult thing for me personally to do. We could do it, but you do have to be on Medicaid to be eligible for them to pay for it. Yes.
Okay. But if you were just going to pay for it yourself, it's $2,000 a month.
Yes, and I don't know if that includes the rent or not.
Oh,
So it's possible that if it's the roommate situation, that there would also be rent. I don't know. They own most of their properties. So I didn't get to that question, Nancy.
okay.
Because I was like, oh my gosh, self-pay, they take it? Because so far I've run into things that they don't even have that option, because they only work with people who are funded through the vouchers. So yeah, does that help?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, we'll move to the next one. Okay, whoops. No, thank you. Okay. This is L'Arche, USA. It's a French word, and I think I'm saying that right. This was started in Canada. It is an organization that's very big on inclusion, probably the best at inclusion. They have religious connection to Catholic, I believe, but it's not only Catholic, it's any, but it is going to be religious. That's going to be part of your life. There's 16 communities. Each community has more than one house. So I think there's something like 68 houses in the United States. There are 6 in the process of being created, 6 additional ones. There's one that's being built. No, I think the one in Kansas. Kansas seems to be a good place. There is a L'Arche in Kansas as well. Okay, ready to watch the video on L'Arche?
Yes.
Okay.
Here I see people come and find a new life for themselves. People who have not been valued, who have been put out to pasture in institutions or hidden in basements, suddenly come and find a place where they are valued.
We're about relationships. I mean, life is about relationships, but L'Arche really focuses on that. And when you come into that, you really feel the difference.
L'Arche is trying to look specifically to the people who are left out and left behind, and to receive their gifts, because it's only in receiving their gifts that the fullness of God's vision comes into being.
When I meet somebody that doesn't know anything about L'Arche, I start by telling them that I live in a community in mutual relationship with adults with developmental disabilities. And normally they sort of look at you and ask for more. And I say, well, it's an intentional community. We choose to be there together. And the eyes still are not completely focused on what I'm trying to say. I say, well, you know, we choose to live together. We choose to embrace each other as friends. There are no staff, there are no residents. We just are just a family.
Eric's our only child. We therefore have been concerned about what would happen when we're no longer able to take care of him. We went over and visited L'Arche in Washington, D.C., and we're really impressed. I mean, the camaraderie between the young staff that was there and the core people, as they call them, was just tremendous, and something we had not seen before. And Eric was with us, and of course, what did you say when you went into L'Arche?
I like it here.
Yeah, right away.
Right away. I still do.
I worked before in a place called Forest Haven, where it was a big institution, and we kept people clothed and fed, but that was about it. They weren't valued. But in L'Arche, people get good care, but they have great opportunities to grow, to learn, to go back to school if they want to, where they can have a meaningful job.
L'Arche is a place where people with disabilities and people without disabilities choose to live together. I always describe that this is not a job, this is a lifestyle choice. When people come to be assistants in L'Arche, as I did, you're really choosing to say yes to this community.
What L'Arche is learning through the core people is probably the most important lesson for our time, and certainly the most important lesson for Americans. And that is that every aspect of creation, every group in creation, every person in creation is necessary. That the people whom we tend to leave out and leave behind are the very sources of what God has for us.
I have learned a lot about my brothers through L'Arche, how much they can have fun, just like everybody else, having fun and going on vacations, and their lives are rich. I couldn't never have provided that for them.
The exciting thing for me is seeing them grow, seeing them take hold of themselves, of finding themselves, of saying, I am worth something, I have a voice, I have things to do, I have a place in society.
We go out and eat, and then we play a lot, and then we celebrate people's birthdays.
Everybody eats together, which was not true at the other places where the handicapped ate by themselves and not with the staff. Now, do you help with the dinner?
Oh, I set the table, Dad.
But how many people are there usually at dinner?
A lot.
There must be 12 people around that table.
12 people, 13, I really don't know.
A lot of people.
A lot of people.
And you talk about what you did during the day?
I love that.
I
Listening to other people.
Upon you, we bless you in the name of the Lord.
L'Arche is a faith-based community, and it stands as a witness in our contemporary environment and culture of the inclusion of everyone into the family of God.
We are a faith community, but our faith lives are diverse. We all come from many different backgrounds, and yet everyone is welcomed wherever they are.
L'Arche is sort of the Cadillac plan for people with developmental disabilities, in the sense that probably most human beings should live in a setting similar, with that much support, with that much recognition that difference isn't something to be feared, but it's something that can bring us together.
I have seen Eileen over the years through supports that she has received from L'Arche. She has gained this voice and is able to speak up for herself and advocate for herself. She has 3 different jobs that she holds. She creates art, she works at a coffee shop, she has this rich life that she loves. And so that has been beautiful to watch a person really gain confidence and gain a voice.
I think L'Arche does a fantastic job of advocating for our core members. I think of the many times I've gone to a doctor's office and doctors have started speaking to me as if the person that I was with wasn't even there. That's an opportunity to say, no, this is this person's right to speak on their own behalf.
L'Arche has a chance to stand up for things that maybe other organizations don't have the time or the support to kind of question the system.
All kinds of medical professionals, judges, routinely comment to us that they've never seen anything like this. They've never seen anything like the quality of care. They've never seen anything like the quality of relationships. And what it does for everyone is provide a concrete, realized vision of what can be.
I've known a lot of other older parents who are at a loss, you know, what's to happen. And I wish there were L'Arches for those people so they can rest in peace. That's what I wish. More L'Arches.
My dream is that we continue to grow, because every time we come to a new start to see and hear.
Having come into this relatively later in my life, having worked for so long to try to, in a larger scale, make change, to be able to see it being made every day with these people who have so much love and commitment is really, truly inspirational. A lot of people talk about how the world needs to be a better place. Well, this is a model for that doesn't exist very many places.
It's been the answer to our dream. It's just a wonderful atmosphere. And you see that. I hope you have the opportunity to come over for a dinner. And
Can
I
you
think
come
would,
for dinner?
Yeah, there's Eric invites everybody he knows.
That was my line.
No, you're okay. But
when can you come?
Okay, does anyone have any questions on this before we move to the next one? Go, Sandy.
This is Cindy. I don't have a question, but I have to say that this really goes along with Susan's hope for tonight. Brings hope up on a bigger scale.
That's sweet. It is lovely to see these people doing such a grand thing for people who no one else is fighting for, and that's really nice. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sandy?
One thing that I think is a real positive about L'Arche is the fact that it's associated with the Catholic Church. They are such a large and strong organization, the Catholic Church, that it's probably going to stick around for a long time. And I know they have some residential facilities where people are. I know of a friend whose sister was in a residential facility, and they're treated like queens, and I guess kings too, but and the Catholic Church is so financially strong, hopefully this will be here forever for people.
And I think the number of the houses and they're growing also is a validation of that, Sandy. And they say it's a forever home.
Do you know, Mary, what the cost is on this or how that works?
They do not talk about the cost. My gut is that this is anyone is allowed, and they figure out how to fund it. That's what I think. I don't know that as a fact.
Okay. It'll be great to look into further.
I definitely think that that is worth asking. If this looks like a match for you in any way, I think you should look for it because it's growing. I mean, who knows? Who knows where it will go next? So, right?
Yeah.
Anybody else before we move? Okay, moving on. Okay, this one is in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's called Cass Housing. I believe it's named after the county. It seems to me that this is a group of men that is doing this. I don't know why I think that. Something about the website. They also have multiple housing. When they can take 3 young people that went to school together and put them in a house together because they've already having a. Oh. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They love if you have an established relationship already, they'll work to try to get those people together. They say they will not place strangers together. They're working hard at trying to customize as needed. The way they do it is 41% of a person's SSI or SSDI will be their rent, but then also they're asking for a parent donation, but it doesn't say how much that is. So that's, I don't know how much that is. So basically they are building these large family homes in neighborhoods all over town. And what is interesting about this place is their actual floor plan. So I'm going to show you, the next slide will be their floor plan, and I've highlighted this so that it's easier to figure out in a shorter amount of time. Each one of these yellow circles has an individual space. It's got a bedroom, a living room, and a little kitchenette, bathroom. And then the door comes out here to this little open space here. Each one of these has all those little individual living spaces. They all open up into a kitchen and living area here and a laundry right there. And then this side of the house opens up here, and this is technically the ancillary building. And this is where the host family, the family that lives there to assist these young people, they have a 2-bedroom apartment to themselves over here, kitchen, living room, so they can support them and have their own space here. I thought that was pretty impressive floor plan. And they are building these in neighborhoods all over town, and they are placing people in there. They are also doing some houses with a house manager for people who are on the waivers, but most of these houses are for people who are not on the waivers. Does anyone have any questions about Cass Housing?
Mary, how did you find out about them?
This is also listed on that website, Autism Housing Network.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, their website's really good. Another thing they mentioned on their website is that they said, hey, are you worried about like paying for your child the rest of their life? You probably need to look into special needs trust, which we all know that, right? But it added, you might be surprised that you don't need as much as you think for it to sustain them for the rest of their life. So they're very busy. They have a waiting list, but they do have some information, and they're probably willing to share if anybody wanted to contact them for more information on that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The next one is Our Place Nashville, which is, this is my new favorite. So they have several housing models. They have a apartment style where I think half the apartments are people with disabilities and half are divinity students that live among. And they also have their more recent developments are, they call them friendship houses, and they're like multi-person living. Let's see what I wrote here. I need to move you guys out of the way. Sorry. Okay, there's a waiting list. It costs $150 a year to be on the waiting list, but when you get on the waiting list, you immediately have access to your young person can interact with the other young people in their social clubs. There's a parent support group that's the parents of the people who are living in these houses, which I thought that was really great. Okay, I'm going to show you more about this. I'm going to have to move.
Hello, my name is Jordan.
Excuse me, Jordan. I'm going to move you. Okay, got it. Can't see the number. Okay. I think it's good enough. All right.
And now we're gonna look at our Friendship House 4. So Friendship House 4 is particularly interesting because it is the style that we will see in the future moving into our new houses. So if you're on the waiting list, if you're thinking about moving into a Friendship House, this may be something like you may see in the future. And we'll talk about that in a minute. These houses are, and some of Friendship House 3 was supported by Williams-Sonoma for our kitchen stuff and California Closets to make use of our closet spaces. And so you'll see these big closets are like the size of a twin bed. They're really, really well built with our partners at Woodbine Community Organization. So I hope that you enjoyed this video tour. This is a couple of people because I was walking around with the camera and people just kept joining in, and I was like, okay, we're just gonna roll with it. So I hope that you enjoyed this tour of Friendship House 4. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to mention. The underscore you'll see is played by one of the residents, Gregory. He's an incredible pianist. His first job is being a pianist. His second job is working at Publix. He's got 2 jobs. And so you'll see him introduce the song. And as the song plays in the background, if it's quiet, you get to enjoy his serenading from Friendship House 4 with a piano that they have at Friendship House 4. So here we go.
Welcome to Friendship House 4. I'm about to show you inside. This is my room. This is the laundry, so this is where we do our laundry. The washer and dryer are 2 quarters. This is our kitchen. We have a big table, and then we have a sink, and we have a stovetop. We each have a pantry, which I can show you in my pantry. It's a little bit messy right now, but there's my pantry. This is Oh, she's hanging out. And then this is Gregory. Gregory's eating his lunch right now.
This is my room. It's my computer area, keyboard area, bed area. That's my bathroom. Bathroom area. And that's my closet area. So this is the living room, and right there is my piano.
I'm making chili for everybody in the two houses. I'll have some for dinner. And then we have a deck over here with a table and benches.
Thank you.
Oh, I love that we got to have that personal touch in Friendship House 4. So we have some people.
Okay,
Okay.
so that's all four of
Hello.
that's all four of the houses I wanted to show you today. Here are all the websites. Please make note and go ahead and look at them. And don't forget about the other site that has all of the other ones for you to try to explore if you wanted to. Anyone have any questions?
I was going to say that the Nashville place reminds me a little bit of Marbridge. A few years back, we went down and took a tour of Marbridge, and they had homes down there similar to this layout, where each of the residents had their own room. And although they didn't have a door to close, they had a curtain over the doorway. That would be the difference.
Well, I feel like I probably left out an important thing because this is quite different in one big way. And this, they are using, so on their website, affordable is all over the place. So I asked, what does affordable mean? And he said, the residents in the house, Friendship House 4, pay $325 a month. So they are using the low income housing venue, the way that's how they're creating these houses. For me, when I hear that, I go, oh my God, sustainable. That's something that Eddie, with his income for the rest of his life, no matter who's alive, he could take care of himself if he's in a situation like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big difference.
Yes.
Because Marbridge is expensive, I think, right?
Yes, yes, it is. And at that
Yeah.
time, it was about $4,700. And that
Per
was
month.
per
Per
month.
month.
Yeah, per
Yeah.
month. And that was in 2018.
Yeah. Yeah, so, right. And so that reminds, so that's why when I said that they were 2,000 in that first one, the Good Life, that seemed like a great thing to me.
Yes.
Because by
indeed.
far it's cheapest I've heard. Yeah.
Mhm.
So they're building 2 more houses. Now, when they say houses, they're like more than one that are built together. They're building one in the north and one in the south in Nashville, and there's going to be 45 spots total. There's 67 people on the waiting list. Eddie is number 67.
Excellent.
He told me, he said, the thing is, people's names come up and they say they're not ready. And so he thinks number 67 might even, he might make it in with these next 2 houses. And let me just say that when you hear that, does that make you think, oh my gosh, I don't want to be the one that's not ready when the house spot comes up, right? So I hope that we all can like keep that in mind, because we do need to keep working towards getting our young person ready for whatever the next thing is. That's just a side note, but boy, I think I would be sad if I got a spot and I didn't feel like I was ready yet.
So Mary, my question is, will they take non-residents?
You know what? Apparently they do. No, we're gonna move. We will move.
Okay.
He asked me, so I talked to Jordan. He was the person who I talked to, and he asked us, are we planning on being there, or is this a situation where he would just be there alone? And we said, well, we're moving there. If he can get in, we'll move there. And I don't know if him getting on the list was contingent on that. So you apply to get on the list, and then they call you. I'm thinking you have to have the right answers. You have to have the right disability, maybe. I'm not sure. But it was not that hard to get in.
Okay, so you had to qualify to get on the list?
I'm thinking he qualified me. Without me
Okay.
being totally aware that's what he was doing. I do
Okay.
think that's what he was doing, yes.
Now, Jordan or Eddie?
Jordan.
Okay.
Jordan was, so when you go online, there's a application that says, apply to get on the list, and you fill that out, and it did have questions like, what is the disability? So I'm thinking that he had all that information and just had to ask a few more questions.
Okay. Wow, incredible.
Isn't that, I mean, I'm really loving the good life.
Uh-huh.
L'Arche is fantastic. I don't know enough about Cass housing to know if that's something I would move for. But I also love our place. So I hope this is inspiring in some way for people. And I hope it's bringing up like thoughts and things that maybe you can follow up on in your own research.
So Mary, how does Eddie feel about it?
Oh,
I mean, I can understand why you might not be ready, but I can also see how he might not be ready.
Oh no, Eddie's ready. I'm ready. So Jordan asked me, did you show him? Shows all the houses. So I fast forwarded to 33 just to show that house 4. I showed Eddie and he was quiet, and that night he didn't say anything. So the next day I said, hey Ed, what did you think of that? He said, I like it. He thinks it looks really good. To me, it looks very similar to when he was at school in Eastern New Mexico with friends. I could tell that that's probably what he thought too. It's like people. I want to live with people.
Mm-hmm.
I even asked him, do you want to get your friends on the list too? You want to let them know about it? He goes, well, they're going to do what they're going to do. I can't control their life. I said, so you feel like you're going to be comfortable going and making new friends? And he said, yep. So that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, fingers. So my other hope is that that one of these, that one seems easier to me, because it's just a matter of qualifying for the low-income housing, which that's easy.
Right.
Say that last thing you said, Mary.
It's just a matter of qualifying for low-income housing, which if you make under $30,000, you qualify. And if they're individual, if they're on their own, they do. So.
Mary, do you know anything about the environment around the houses in
no, because they don't make it public. They don't make it public where they are. I do not know.
Okay.
For safety, right?
Right, it makes total sense. I'm just
Yeah.
wondering if it's a suburban, urban, or, well, it can't be too urban if you said north and south.
He told me that every single person that lives there has qualified for the door-to-door bus service.
Okay.
So that is very helpful. One has to figure out how to ride the Metro
Is it-
bus.
Did you get the impression it was in the city limits of Nashville rather than a suburb, but that has?
There's 4 of them. There's 4 of them existing. They're gonna build 2 more. So they're all over. The
Oh,
2 they're building are on opposite sides of the city, so that surprised me. I don't really know where they are, Sandy.
Okay. Well, I'm just thinking Ryan has, his dad's relatives are in Nashville.
Oh,
That's nice.
I mean, I don't know that they're going to be all there that helpful, but at least they're there. So,
And Ryan might be more interested in the individual apartments since he's already done that.
yeah. Nashville House had individual apartments. Is that
So
correct?
yeah, if you go back and go to that
website,
it was an open house. It was filmed in October 2021. And the first house, Friendship House number 1 is apartments. And that's 600 and something, 625, I think, a month.
Say it again, 625?
I think so. It's an individual apartment, 1-bedroom apartment.
Okay.
And that one is half and half students from the Divinity School and young people living in with disabilities.
They're from the Divinity School. It might be
Some
near
excitement
whatever
here.
Divinity School. I don't know.
Well, it's Vanderbilt. Yeah,
Oh,
so
so
that
it
one,
might be in town, right in the middle.
so
of-
that one, well, I don't know. They have cars, don't they? I don't know. I don't know. It could be close. I don't know. Okay. Well,
Very nice. Thank you.
this was so good, Mary. So good. I mean,
food for thought.
I can't
Well,
remember
lots of
who
good
was
info.
calling in on the phone, but they had their
Me
hand
and
up.
Sarah.
Oh, go
I put it
Sarah.
down, sorry. So yeah, Mary, that's lots of good information. That's a lot of footwork that we don't have to do now. Thank you.
There's more out there. I mean, if it does nothing more than give you some thoughts about what could happen, what potentials could be there. I also was really touched with how Tennessee is just like, he happened to just tell me, and Tennessee just added 2,000 extra $229 like given to people with disabilities to cover transportation and miscellaneous.
Oh, wow.
I know. And it's not from a waiting list. It's just 2,000 extra waiting there for people who might
need it.
Yes. So, yeah, it was touching actually. Go Sandy.
Another thing is Vanderbilt has some type of program. I looked at it on their website a while back. I can't remember what it is, but specifically for people on the spectrum, for helping them with vocationally for transition. And I don't know, I thought about it for a few minutes, but it would mean moving to Nashville but maybe, that's
There's nothing wrong with that.
cold.
Oh, it's not cold. No, it's not.
Compared to Austin, it is. I live there.
I think it's quite moderate, actually. It's
yeah,
and it's not as hot. It has 2 months that are 90 as the high, and it's It doesn't, I don't even think it gets much snow.
No, well, it didn't when I was going to college. So maybe I need to go visit in a winter rather than in a summer.
I'm curious. I think, so Mary, thank you so much. I don't know if it's happening for Mitch tonight, so we could talk a little bit more right now. I think what you presented us is, it's just such, it's great jumping off points because it seems so real and doable, you know, and I've been just excited about this presentation for so long since you got back and you told me this, and I'm like, what? These things exist? Like things that are beautiful, the things that we've been wanting, you know, wish it was in Texas.
And positive.
Yeah.
Oh, and can I just add that Good Life, the first one, they also want to educate other organizations. Renee, I'm thinking of you. I kind of think that they're big scale. They have 490 people under their care. So I think they're ready to educate big organizations, but what do I know? I mean, maybe they could sell those, you know, iLinks, and it can be done small scale. They have really smart ideas for staffing as well. Casey, you might want to see that too. That guy who spoke, he is, I guess he's probably a doctor in social work, maybe. I'm not sure what, but he is like figured out a way to do staffing 12-hour 3 times, or it's a whole thing. But it's making it easier to cover the time the way they're doing it.
Well, and they have a decent reimbursement wage instead of exploiting direct care workers. I think that's part of the model, is to be direct care friendly or supportive. I think.
Yeah.
But even with their smart way of thinking, they're still having issues with covering all the. It's a problem.
What was their take on the, I think you shared with me earlier, but I forgot about the way that they pay their workers, like they give them a day off, or do you remember, or am I just misremembering?
Well, okay, so I guess there's a special thing where you can call it premium pay on Saturday and Sunday. You call it a premium pay, and they get time and a half Saturday and Sunday no matter what. So then they work 2 other days, 12-hour days, and then if they want to add another day, they can add another day, but then they don't get time and a half for the whole 12 hours because they already got credit for the time and a half for the Saturday and Sunday. It's in the tax law that you can pay people like this. And the reason they created it is to try to make it so people can cover hard to cover times, which Saturday and Sunday are. So they split it and have one half of their team go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the other one Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And then Wednesday's like somebody will take it.
Wow, and this is the Good Life?
That's the Good Life. Yeah, it's because it's attached to the University of Kansas. It's like using thinking and new processes. So it's sort of like the best minds are trying to solve it, or people who are using their brains to try to solve it, I guess. So,
yeah, great.
You know what would be neat is if we could, you know, group of us could put together something here. I mean, we've got potential resources. We have the university here if they've got the right mindset. And then there are techie people in this city. And then there are people who in this city who have worked in the care industry. I mean, not that it's an industry, but, you know, have you know, for different facilities that the state has had that no longer they have. You know, but it would take a lot of organization, a lot of, you know, piecing things together, and maybe a lot of time too.
And a lot of money.
And I don't feel like I got that much time considering my age.
But we need Texas to be behind it.
Well, you're
And
probably
apparently
right.
they're not. So
Yeah.
There was, I don't think it really kicked off the ground, but there was a sibling network that came out of one of the UT professors, and her sister is autistic, is on the spectrum, and somewhere I have her information, so I'll look that up and see what's going on. She also had a meetup, and she came to the Thrive, I think at least one Thrive meeting when we were still meeting at Johnson House. They were there for one of the Halloween parties, the last Halloween party. So I don't recall her name right off the bat, but she has a lot of information. So she might know what UT is doing or what she's doing with UT. And maybe we can tell her these things and see what progresses out of that.
Could leverage it.
Right.
Great.
There's a couple things happening in Texas, but they're not cheap. There's a supposed little house community that's going to be built in San Antonio, but wasn't that 400 and something per month, even in the apartment while they're waiting? Del?
Yeah, it's expensive, but
4,000 something. Yeah.
It's a good program. Maybe we can do a Texas survey in a couple of months.
Oh,
Oh, Mitch is here. Oh,
yeah, Mitch
great.
made it.
I'm so
Great.
sorry I'm late. It took us a little longer to wrap up our evening program here and clean up. So sorry to be running late tonight.
It's all perfect, Mitch. We just had an amazing presentation from Mary about different housing options, and there's couple states that are really on board with helping our loved ones. And so we were just in an exploratory conversation about what that looks like. And so it's all good. You didn't miss a beat.
Oh,
So,
good.
but,
That makes me feel better.
Yeah. But just really 1 second, Mitch. Thank you, Mary, for putting all this together. It was just awesome. And just kudos. Thank you for going to research it and just learning that. I'm filled with hope, and now I just want to go learn more. And Jennifer's giving you a clap, and so thank you, and thank you for being willing to. That's a beautiful presentation you did, and your videos were awesome. They were really explanatory, so thank you.
Can I just say thank you guys for listening and looking and watching it, because I feel like it's things I've been trying to learn about, and it's nice to share with people who understand.
Absolutely. And thank you for getting Eddie on the list, or for him wanting to be on the list.
Yeah. So
that's exciting.
So good. Thank you. All right. Well, we'll have to come back to this subject again. Thank you, Mary, and you keep us posted on what you learn as well. And we'll everybody else kind of do our own digging, and when we come back, let's share what else we've learned. So takes a village. Thank you. And without any further ado, Mitch, so glad Mitch is here. Mitch runs a program through Easter Seals called Greenleaf, and he helps our loved ones stay engaged and be social, which we know what a mountain that is to climb, but Mitch does a great job. So Mitch, without any further ado, please, it is your time.
Sure. Well, thank you, Susan. Thanks for having me. It's lovely to be here. Hi, Mary. I think I see a few people I know. It's good to see you. Yeah, would it be helpful to, I know I shared kind of a PowerPoint last time. Would that be helpful? I don't want to
Yeah, you
retread the
can't,
same steps for.
yep, you can take the screen, all good.
Sure. Okay, then that's what I'll do. Let me get that going here. Well, as Susan said, my name is Mitchell Bowman, and I am the program director for Greenleaf Neurodiversity Community Center. As she mentioned, we are a part of Easter Seals Central Texas, and Easter Seals Central Texas serves individuals with disabilities across all ages and stages. They're best known for their early childhood intervention program. They serve a lot of families with that. They do housing modifications. They have a paid job training program that's primarily for those returning to work after a criminal justice history. We have a life center where they offer physical and occupational therapy, speech and audiology services. We do have some employment and community services. Greenleaf is kind of sort of part of the employment and community services that we do at Easter Seals. And then we do also provide some parenting support programs and case management. And so Greenleaf the idea for it started in 2016. I'll say, with the idea of, first trying to start a school, an 18+ program that would really serve individuals that, might not be currently served by existing transition programs, particularly looking at serving those that have more of an interest in the arts and technology, and providing pathways to work there. I was brought on as the first staff member and kind of helped launch Greenleaf in the fall of 2019. And really by 2019, the vision had evolved into, what we really want to try to create is a sort of fully functioning community center, with wraparound services, really a holistic approach to supporting, transition age adults in particular with autism or other neurodiversities. And so I was brought on, my background was primarily in arts and community education. I worked for Creative Action for years as the director of out of school time programs. And that is where I created the social creativity program and kind of fell in love with working with young adults and autistic young adults in particular, and wanted to grow that program and do more. And so I jumped at the opportunity to help start Greenleaf. And so who we serve at Greenleaf, we primarily serve autistic and neurodivergent young adults and ages 18 and up. We do serve a limited number of teenagers just in our job skills training programs, but the vast majority of our community members that are participating are, I would say, between the ages of 18 and 28. But we don't have an age cap, a maximum. We have individuals participating in their 30s and even 40s, and that's the goal, is to create a continuum of community for individuals that they don't age out of, that they can always be a part of at any stage in their life. And hopefully mentoring those that are younger with, sharing the experiences and the things that they've learned in their pathway to adulthood. We do serve adults of all abilities across our employment services, and Easter Seals does as well. But really our vision was to try to, instead of trying to serve everyone, at all the ages or all disabilities, to really serve this community especially well, and to focus on their needs. So our staff consists of everyone that works here is an autism specialist of one kind or another, a certified autism specialist or a special ed certified teacher. We have a speech and language pathologist on staff and paraprofessional that works in our school day, but all 5 of us are really focused on serving the autistic community especially well. So that's who we serve and who we are. And as I kind of already shared a little bit about our history, our mission is to create a community hub that fosters the abilities of people with autism and related neurodivergent conditions so that they reach their potential and thrive in the community, in the workplace, and in life. And so there's a lot to be done in there, to accomplish that, as you all, I'm sure, well know. And we're just scratching the surface of the needs of the community, and there's a lot more to be done. I'm sorry that I missed this, what apparently was a wonderful presentation by Mary about housing. That is something that we want to get to in the future. But right now, what we're principally offering are 4 types of programs. So we have our most popular programs are our social creativity recreational clubs. We have offered peer mentor training programs and are currently working with the Autism Society of Texas and the Access Autism student organization at Austin Community College, as well as a number of self-advocates to be launching Peer Mentors of Austin Coalition, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. We do offer vocational training programs and employment services through Texas Workforce Solutions. And then as of this fall, we have started our 18 plus school. And that is a public school program, transition program in partnership with Austin ISD for students to continue working on their IEP goals and to continue their studies in arts and digital media in particular. So where we are is pretty centrally located for Austin. We do offer both virtual and in-person programs. We started doing virtual programs during the pandemic, and we found that was successful for a number of individuals for one reason or another, either because of location or transportation challenges or things like that. So that's something that we continue to offer. And so our community aren't just individuals living in Central Texas. We have folks that participate in our programs, even from San Antonio, Fort Worth area, Houston area. So, our reach is pretty wide with the inclusion of our virtual programs. This is a little bit dated. We're about to begin programming. We've been programming all year here at our community center at 911 West Anderson Lane. It's the Lamar Gateway Shopping Center. For those of you that are familiar with Austin, it's right across from the Pink Gorilla and the Bingo Hall there. It's kind of an Austin landmark, but you'll see on the map that we're very centrally located right at the nexus of Anderson Lane, Lamar, and 183, and close to bus lines as well. So I'd love to tell you a little bit more about those programs that I mentioned. So as I said, our most popular programs are our social creativity programs. And it's just what you think. It's social and it's creative. All of our programs are emphasizing both of those things in tandem with one another. We've offered a very wide array of programs. We never repeat what we're doing. We will repeat clubs, but we never repeat activities. It's always, every club is new, different cohort, different activities that we do. So it's very different than kind of taking a class. It's not like if you participate again, you'll be doing the same things. We try to keep it fun and fresh. We bring in guest artists and presenters from the community. Sometimes we do outings together. But just to give you an idea, we've done visual arts, we've done various performing arts clubs, music, film, and theater. We've done nature and wellness clubs. We've done storytelling, book clubs, digital literacy workshops. We have we've done a number of role-playing game clubs that's very popular, playing Dungeons and Dragons. We have summer social series, a whole lot of stuff going on. And we're constantly coming up with new ideas, working with partners. This summer, I think we'll probably be offering a cooking club. We're thinking about doing something we're calling Putting on the Ritz, which will be like an opportunity for participants to kind of practice fine dining etiquette and learn learn some dances and then like do like a formal kind of a thing. So that's something we're kind of excited about that we've never done before. So always doing new things to bring us together as community. That's really the goal, is trying to create community, trying to create lots of touch points, not only to interests, but to one another. And so you'll see just across some of these pictures, you know, what that community looks like in various forms. Yeah, so those are social creativity clubs, and I can happy to talk more about those and answer questions at the end here. So as I said, we have done peer mentor training programs in the past. That's something that we'll probably bring back, but we're also really excited to be partnering with the Autism Society and Austin Community College and a number of self-advocates to develop this Peer Mentors of Austin Coalition. And we are accepting applications right now through the end of April, and the program will start in mid-May. And what this program is going to be is sort of a first of its kind in Central Texas program for neurodivergent individuals to mentor other neurodivergent individuals in areas of interest and expertise. So an opportunity to practice leadership skills, to develop relationships, to, you know, practice adulting with other people that, you know, have already learned a thing or two. So we're really excited about that. We're going to do our pilot run of that program this summer from May to August.
Oh, so good.
So that's that. And then, thank you. And then we have our vocational training programs. As I said, we are a authorized community service provider with Texas Workforce Solutions. Right now, you know, we're working on, this is a big area of growth for Greenleaf. We know there's a huge need for employment services and work experience opportunities. That's an area we're going to continue growing in. But what we have done and have done successfully the last couple of years is offer these two programs. One is the Next Steps program, and that is a job skills training program for students ages 14 to 22. Generally students that are in school or in post-secondary. And that's kind of a overview program to, well, I guess I've got another slide about it, so I'll hold that thought for a second. So we've got Next Steps, and then we have our Adulting 101 program, which is a series of independent living topic courses for adults. And we have offered job placement and coaching services in the past. We will do that again as we add to our staffing. So a little bit more about those programs. The Next Steps program is otherwise known as Pre-Employment Training Service, or PREETS as it's sometimes called. And this is ideal for students approximately between 14 and 22 with a disability who are a student in some school or post-secondary program. Those are the TWS requirements. And this program takes a fun and individualized approach to the topics of self-advocacy, workplace readiness, and career planning and post-secondary options planning. So it's not, you know, the end all be all of what am I going to do for a career and getting me ready to be in that career and where am I going to college and getting ready for that, etc. But it does help students to prepare for all of those decisions and to start thinking more critically about them and what their goals are in life. We typically offer this during the summer and sometimes as an after-school program. We are gauging interest right now for a summer cohort of this program. Then we also have the Adulting 101 program, otherwise known as vocational adjustment training in, you know, vocational rehab, in the vocational rehab world, that's what they call it. But this is a series of vocational skill building courses. Students in these courses can just take one, you know, they can take a combination of them. And we basically offer them based on the interest that we are receiving for these classes. So there's a career exploration class. There's a work readiness, a couple work readiness classes, one focused on soft skills for employment, one focused on sort of the nuts and bolts of employment, like understanding work rules and how to fill out your W-4, all that good stuff. We have a increasingly popular financial literacy class that we call Money Matters, which covers a range of topics related to financial literacy. including, you know, renting apartments, credit, debt, bank accounts, purchasing a car, you know, et cetera, a lot of stuff there. We have a class that focuses on exploring post-secondary options, not just college, but trade school and certificate programs, and helping individuals to assess what might be the best pathway for post-secondary education. We have a disability disclosure course, which focuses on, you know, what one's needs and accommodations are, and how to disclose those, how to seek accommodations and across different settings, whether work, school, or across the community. And then we're looking to get back into offering a public transportation course as well. So this is typically for adults. We have, I don't think you have to be over 18 necessarily for a VR counselor at Texas Workforce Solutions to approve someone for this course. But typically, most of the people that participate are over the age of 18. They could be in a post-secondary school or working or whatever the situation is, but they don't necessarily have to be a student like you do for Next Steps. And we're currently recruiting students for this program as well and engaging interest. So those are our vocational training programs. And then finally, this year was our first year of our 18 plus transition program in partnership with Austin ISD. And so this program is for students who've basically met their academic goals, but still have unmet goals in their IEP. Could be for independent living, social goals, or just other goals for advancing, their interest to prepare for post-secondary. So for this program, because it is a free public education through Austin ISD, students do have to be between the ages of 18 to 22, qualify for special ed services, and who want to continue their academic pursuits and have skills specifically or interests in the creative arts and technology. So really this is, we look at this as it's 18 plus program. So it's really an opportunity to have that slightly longer, onboarding ramp out of high school into post-secondary. So those are all of our programs. There's lots of ways to get involved. As parents, as family members, as community members, certainly your loved ones can join our community and participate in any of these programs. They're all free. I mean, typically our vocational training programs, we do, we can do those as a private pay model. Typically we encourage people to get a service authorization from a vocational rehab counselor so that the state can pay for that. But all of our social creativity programs and our 18 plus school, those are there's no cost to them. We have a suggested donation for our social creativity clubs, but we don't prohibit anyone from participating if they can't make the donation. So so that it's accessible for people, whatever their financial means. Your loved ones could participate in our clubs. They could take a job skills class. We're always interested in meeting, neurodivergent folks that want to be, and neurotypical folks that want to be peer mentors in our programs. You can volunteer with us. There's our 18 plus program. Certainly we appreciate donations. And yeah, that's my presentation. I'll show you just real quick before I start to take questions. We do have a lovely new website, which I'm excited that I can actually show to you all. It just launched this week. This is our new website, greenleafncc.org. If you forget and type .com, don't worry, it will send you to the same place. Okay. But a lot of the information about our clubs and our programs is on here. You can see more about our story. This is our leadership team. You can see who we are. So that's me. Andy Manns is our lead teacher for our transition school. He was a longtime scores teacher at Anderson. Wonderful guy. It's Anne. She's our SLP that works. She's primarily works with our school program, but will be increasingly working with us across our other programming, our social programming as well. and Amanda Varsalati is kind of my my number two that I work with a lot in our clubs and employment services. And Keisha is a paraprofessional that works with us during our school program. And then there's Randy Shade. She is our kind of our executive chair of the program. Yeah, and then so in terms of, clubs and programs, I'll show you this as well. These are like our current club activities that we have going this spring. All of our clubs are essentially seasonal. We have a fall season, a winter, spring, and then a summer season for clubs. So this May will be the next opportunity to sign up and enroll in our social creativity clubs. Right now, we're doing an acting club, an art club, a book club. We started our first girl group this spring, which has been really great, just for ladies and those that identify with female development. We have a music club, and we have 2 Dungeons and Dragons clubs, a in-person and a virtual one that we're doing this spring. So a lot of stuff going on, and I'll just show you at the bottom. If you get, curious, visiting our website, you can see some past activities like our virtual art club gallery that we made during the pandemic. You can see, some of our comedic films that we've made, a podcast that we made in Storytellers Club. Lots of fun stuff there. Okay, so I'm gonna stop talking now, and I'd love to answer your questions. Yeah. Oh, sure. Sure. I see Sandy and Cinda.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cinda, since you're unmuted. You go first.
You talked about the peer mentoring. Do you have a class that, or some kind of like workshop for them to know how to be a good peer mentor?
We've offered that in the past. That's something I want to bring back. Right now, this last year, our focus has really been on just building the Peer Mentors of Austin Coalition. And that one, that project, we will offer some training for mentors, and that will develop, it's our pilot run of the program. But yes, we do offer some training, and particularly for that PMAC, that Peer Mentors of Austin Coalition, there will be training for mentors. Sandy, did you have a question?
Yeah, you said that the Adulting 101 class you're recruiting now for August 3 through 10. So does that mean that these classes would start August 3rd?
No, I apologize. That was an outdated bullet on that PowerPoint. That's why I just kind of breezed past it, because right now we are recruiting for the summer. So for June, July, and in early August. So it's not too late. If if one of your family members, if you think they could benefit or you'd like to explore that, then just get in touch with us. If you already are connected with a VR counselor and working with them, we're happy to talk to them. If you don't want to go through Texas Workforce Solutions, we can talk about that too. I understand people have had bad experiences with them sometimes. But yes, we're recruiting right now and through May for summer cohorts.
So you'll still be accepting applications through the end of May?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, great, thanks.
Mitch, are those adulting, by the way, thank you. It was a great presentation, very thorough. Are those adulting classes virtual or are they in person?
Well, interestingly, we've done most of them virtually, and that's just been what people have kind of requested. We try to be really, I don't want to come off as, wishy-washy to any of you all about these dates and things. What we really try to do is be really responsive to what works for people. So instead of just setting dates and saying who can come, same thing with our clubs. Every season, the way our clubs work is we send out an interest poll before the season starts. Everybody says, these are the clubs I'm interested in. This would be my first, second, third choice. This is when I'm available. We take that information and we with that and what we know about the individuals and their support needs, and who we think is going to work together well compatibly in a group, we assemble those cohorts to try to work with the majority interest and availability. So it's a little bit different than other people do things, but it's helped us to really serve as many people as possible. And so our approach is similar for the Adulting 101 courses. We get into contact with the family, with an individual. We see what their interests are, when they're available, what their preference is for virtual versus in person. And then we try to put together a cohort based on that information. So the short answer is we're flexible. We can do virtual, we can do in person. It just depends on who's interested and what their needs are.
Great. So good. Yeah, some people in this group, they don't live in Austin, some people do. And so I love that kind of flexibility that you have, and your programs, they're just getting they're getting bigger and more interesting and diverse. Go Mitch.
Tell me about it. I'm stretched thin, but it's great. I love all the work that we're doing.
So did I miss it, Mitch, or did you talk about the movie night?
Oh, I didn't even talk about the movie night. Mary, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me see if I can
screen share. I can screen share. I've got it up.
Sure. Thanks, Mary. That'd be great. Yeah, we do have a special event coming up. I'm so glad you reminded me of that.
Yeah, because we like movies, this group.
Oh, good. Well, yeah. So we, Austin Film Festival, and I apologize, Mary, if you want to speak about it, you can, but I'm happy to.
I want to learn about it.
So we were really fortunate to get to meet the filmmakers of this film when it came for Austin Film Festival, and kind of helped promote that. And especially our executive chair and our staff, we kind of fell in love with this movie. We felt that it was not only a great film about what is needed for this community, especially at transitioning into adulthood, but just a great film about the range of the spectrum, and taking into account that for many people in the community, they don't view autism as a disability. They view it as a neurodifference. Other people are severely impacted and really feel experience it as a disability. And the film does a great job of really exploring the variety of perspectives on autism. It does, it follows the oldest living person in the United States who has an autism diagnosis, and the filmmaker who, she is an autism mom, was really curious about, she found this individual. She wrote a book co-wrote a book about him, and she was really interested because he had a fantastic life. He's very old now. He's had a wonderful life, lots of community support, living independently, working a job he loved. He's loved in the community. He has friends, and to her, it was a film. It was like, how do I create this for my son? How do we create this in other communities? And so the film is really a journey to try to answer that question. And so we love this film because we feel it does a great job of really answering the why of Greenleaf, like why we exist and what we're hoping to try to do. And not just alone, with other organizations. There's a lot of great organizations here in Central Texas. We want to, we're already working with a number of them, and we want to do more of that. As Susan said before, it takes a village. And so that's kind of what this film is about. So if any of you are interested, we would love for you to attend. We've rented out the Alamo Draft House on Wes Anderson Lane. There's going to be 4 different screens at staggered times. So starting at 6, 6:30, 7, 7:30. So there's different options. It's happening in the evening. The INSAR pre-conference is happening earlier that day. So there's a lot of, autism researchers and VIPs in town that we're hoping to come to this. It's going to be a great, just sort of autism networking event, to gather and just, we're inviting community partners from different organizations. So yeah, and really this isn't even much of a fundraiser. It's just helping us cover the cost of renting out the Alamo and bringing this film here. We just want to do it to get the community together, to share this wonderful story, and to, get some conversations going about how we can work better together as a community to make a difference. So yeah, that's happening on Tuesday, May 10th. That's the Eventbrite. What I could do is, I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. So I could maybe, Susan, I could share, you may have already got it, but I could share our last newsletter with you to share
Yes.
with this group. And that newsletter will have the link to this as well as other things that we're offering. And so if it'll be right at the top of that newsletter, you can click through to the Eventbrite and purchase tickets to
Perfect.
come to that film
Yeah.
event. And we hope
Go
you
ahead.
will.
Go ahead and
And
share that with
Are
me.
there, is there plenty of tickets available or,
Oh yeah.
okay?
Yeah, we've got
Because
4
I want to
full
bring
tickets.
all my friends.
Please do. Yeah, bring all your
You want
friends.
to come?
I want to teach, yes, I want to teach my friends and have them understand. And I'd love us all to come too.
Mhm.
I tell you, it's a wonderful film. It really was. I was quite moved by it. I think that I would imagine you all would be as well. I think you'll really love it.
Can
Yeah.
we also go to the village and get tickets straight directly from Alamo, or is it better through Eventbrite?
I think better through the Eventbrite, because I don't think it's not I don't think it's like you can purchase tickets
okay.
like through their main
Okay.
terminal. I think you have to kind of go through this to
It's a
get
private event. You guys have
Pri-
to take the money, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so that's yeah, please do bring your friends, bring your family members, I'll yeah, it's a great film. It's a great film.
Good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
happy to go to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Mary. I'm just like I don't know where my head is. I should totally be promoting that, but I'm so focused on our programs that I didn't even think about that. So thank you so
And-
much for reminding
Yeah.
me.
And I just want to say, the way that you are doing that, it does feel a little weird on the sign up side, but I think it's really smart, because how many times have you tried to like organize something, everybody, and you pick a date and everyone says, I can't go that day. So it's like you guys are being smart. You're just saying, what day can you? Maybe we can make some little groups here. And yeah, it's not as hard as it seems.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, what you trade off, I guess, in a little certainty of when is the program going to happen. I think we make up for in being able to serve more individuals, in trying to make things work for community members. And what I've seen with a lot of community members is, especially if you're kind of on the fence about trying something, I don't want like the day or the time, hopefully, to
Totally.
be the the excuse for someone not to give something a try or to show up. It's like, let's try to make it work for you. So that's our
And-
approach.
Yeah, and Eddie's experience, especially the last time I remember, you guys came back with 2 options for him, and one of them was the art that he does on Thursday nights. And he was kind of like, oh, I don't know. And he did sign up for the art, and he's really happy that he did. That was outside of his like normal, but he's really liking it.
That makes me so happy. We love having Eddie in our clubs. He's such a wonderful young man.
Yeah.
He's really awesome.
Oh, so good. Well, so if people are interested in some of the things that they said, they can go to your website, and they can also email you, right, Mitch? Okay.
That's right. Yeah, and our email is easy too. So our website again is greenleafncc.org. I can put that in the chat, and I'm going to follow up with Susan right after this and send that newsletter. So you could share. Feel free to pass that along to everyone. There's a website, and a great email to get in touch with us is just greenleafncc@gmail.com.
Oh, great.
We'll pick things up from there.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Mitch.
Yeah,
Thanks for
I'm
what
sorry.
you're doing.
Yeah, I hope I
So
didn't go over
good.
my time too much, but thank you so much, everybody.
It was perfect. Thank you, Mitch. We really appreciate you like working a full day and jumping on. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was
Thank
very
you,
informative.
Susan.
Okay.
Thanks,
have a good
everybody.
one.
You
Okay,
too.
thank you guys. We're gonna call it a night. It was a very wonderful evening. So thank you. Let's think about going to that film together. And we also have the autism march, which is this Sunday. If anybody, even if you didn't walk all your miles yet, you can still go. It's going to be very much loved one friendly, lots of things to do. Also, if you're in town, the following, is it Saturday, is going to be Eeyore's birthday, and that's always a fun thing if you're around. But okay, I think that's all of the announcements.
Oh, hi, Marina.
Oh yeah, hi Marina.
And
Welcome.
Cinda.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I came in late. I'm in California, so my time is messed up. But thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Everything was great.
Great.
Mary, I hate that I missed the first part of that first presentation, but those were so good. All
Good.
four.
Yeah.
I'm glad you liked it, Cinda.
Yeah.
Me too. It's helpful.
Yeah, so helpful. Well, thank you all. It's been wonderful being with you guys. Thank you for hanging till 9. Mitch does great work. It's a great way to get your loved one involved. There's a lot of things virtually. So really, really think about that. And if you need to talk to somebody that's been a part of Mary and Eddie, done a lot of their programs. My daughter used to do some things with Mitch at Creative Action. He's got a lot of good things going on. So anyway, and I love the girl peer group. That could be something for Jessie, and I might see if Natalie might get involved. So anyway, good to see you guys, and hugs, and we'll be in touch soon.
Very good.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for all the info.
Oh, sure. Thank you, Mary.
Bye, Sarah.
Woo!
Bye,
Great
everybody.
job, Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
Bye.
Bye.